Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, your Stampin' Chick, here with another Make It Monday. How are you today, my friends? I hope you had a fantastic weekend. My weekend was utterly amazing. This weekend was on stage and I was in Atlanta with a couple of my girls having a fantastic time. Oh my goodness, on stage is absolutely the most incredible time of the entire year, and it's so much fun, but you can only go if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So, if you'd like to go to on stage with me next year, I would love to take you along. You can join my team, and you can come with us, and we'll all have a ball. And you'll love it, I promise. If you're interested in being a Stampin' Up! Demo or you want to get the starter kit, be sure you let me know, okay? I will hook you up, my friend. All right, moving along to today's project. This week, I have a fantastic fun fold for you. It's called a buckle fold card, and it opens like this. Isn't that wonderful? It is so much fun. I've seen this technique used before, and I tried it out, thought it was great, took it to my hostess club, and they loved it, and I have really been enjoying this fold. So it's very simple, very easy, but it looks oh so cute, doesn't it? Alright, so even though all of this stuff is kind of fancy on the front end, on the back end it's just the back of your card base, and you'll notice that this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is your standard size card. So that means that this fancy fold, as it is, fits perfectly into our envelopes. Okay, so let's get started. Here's what you need. You need for it not to be dropped on the floor. All right. You need a card base measuring 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. Now this may seem like an odd size, but based on the way that it folds, you still end up with that 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 background, and that's what's important here. So 8 1/2 by 4 1/4 card base, and then we're going to score that at 5 1/4, and that's going to give us our card base, okay? And then you're also going to need a piece of cardstock, and this can be the same color, a different color, coordinating, accenting, whatever. This one is going to be 7 1/4 by 2 inches. All right, so 7 1/4 by 2. Then you're going to need a couple pieces of designer series paper that coordinate. And the easiest way to get coordinating designer series paper is by using papers that are in the same pack. So in this case, I'm using the Tall Tidings designer series paper. And this one is measured at 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So you know that that's the standard layer number 1 for a basic card base. So 5 1/4 by 4. And then this one is 2 5/8 by 4 inches also. Now you'll see that that's the same width, or the same height, but the width is a little bit different. So there's that. Now you're also going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 3 3/8 by 1 3/4. Now this is going to be your sentiment section on the inside of your buckle. 3 3/8 by 1 3/4. And then I'm using the same color of cardstock for the sentiment piece on my buckle. And I'm using the layering ovals shapes. And let me get the dimensions for you there. It is the 2 1/2 straight layering oval, and then the 2 3/4 scalloped layering oval. Alright, so that's what you need, and this is super simple and fun. And now that we have all our parts, let me show you how quick and easy this actually is. Okay, so let's bring in the very vanilla pieces, and we're going to use Cherry Cobbler ink. And the stamp sets that we're going to use are the Christmas Countdown. This is the one that came for the Advent calendar. I have really enjoyed using this stamp set on other projects. I didn't want it to be just for the Countdown kit, which is adorable, but you know, I want to get the most bang for my buck. So I wanted to use this stamp set as much as I could. And today I'm using this stamp right here. And then we're using the Perfectly Plaid Christmas Cheer Sentiment right here. Okay, so now that we have those, let's get our Cherry Cobbler ink and let's tap, tap, tap the sentiment. And I'm going to turn it a little because I think my ink pad is probably starting to need a little refill. And then we're just going to stamp this down right in the middle as centered as possible. I think that looks good. Not too bad. And then set that off to the side and bring in that beautiful little pine bough and berry stamp. There we go. I am tapping it an awful lot because, like I said, I think my ink pad is needing refilled. Okay, now let's center this best we can. Right there. Lovely. All right. Almost stuck my fingers in that ink pad. All right, now let's set those off to the side for just a second. And we're going to bring in our garden green cardstock. Now, scoreboard is essential for this project. We're going to score our paper at 5.5 inches. And again, this is giving us the 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch section for our card base. And then we're going to bring that green strip in that's 7 1/4 by 2 inches, and we're going to score it at 3 5/8. And that will be the halfway mark of our buckle. Alright, we can get the scoreboard out of the way. Let's burnish our folds right quick. There we go. Yay. Okay. Now all of our work is basically done. It's just assembly. So let's get our DSP. And at this point, you know, the toile tiding is absolutely fabulous because it has this design the same on both sides. It's just in different colors. So while this is the Cherry Cobbler, this is the garden green. And of course, you could decide to do it in a monotone, monochromatic type, not monotone, monochromatic color scheme, which would be beautiful. And actually, let me see if I have, if I have a green layered oval so you could see what that might look like. Of course, I've already got it stamped in Cherry Cobbler, so it's too late for monochromatic, but you get the idea. I like it not to be monochromatic with regard to the buckle and the buckle layer because it's kind of hard to see. So we're going to stick with this because this is fabulous. So let's go ahead and put some adhesive on our DSP. There we go. Open it up and line it into the middle. All right, there we are. Perfect. All right. Okay, now that you have the DSP on here, I want you to use the classic label punch, and let's open it up, and we're actually going to push it all the way into the punch. So it'll stop, and that's as far as we want it to go. And then we just want to line it up edge to edge to make sure that it's relatively in the center. Give it a punch, and we have our buckle. Now we can take our snail and really get a good amount on there. Now you're going to leave your buckle piece folded in half, and it's actually just going to be centered in the middle of the background layer, and that will help you line up your buckle perfectly. I mean, it doesn't have to be 100% exact, like don't get your ruler out or anything, but just eyeball it. There we go. And then we can put some snail on the back of the sentiment piece. And layer it down. There we go. And then you'll see that your buckle goes in perfectly. Now I want you to go ahead and do that because that's going to help you line up your little embellishment piece in the center. If you line it up centered with the whole piece, you've got this part that sticks in there and it'll look like it's off center when you put the buckle in. So just make sure that you've got it buckled beforehand and you'll be fabulous. And we're going to put some adhesive and layer these two pieces together. There we go. And then get some handy dandy dimensionals. And I'm just going to cut a couple of these big ones in half. There we go. We're almost done, guys. This was really easy. Except for pulling the backing off dimensionals, am I right? Those buggers are tough. Okay, and then we'll just line this up relative to the center, and voila. Nice and easy, simple, fabulous, fancy fold card. This is the buckle fancy fold card. There you go. I hope that you liked this tutorial today. This is a great one. You'll find the dimensions and measurements over on my blog as usual, and the link for that will be down in the description box below. You can visit my website at danasullivan.stampinup.net if you'd like to purchase the supplies that I used today. And I would love to have you as a customer. When you order from me, I'll send you a thank you card, and it'll be a fabulous one that you'll love. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.